Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. For those of you that are new, I am Dr. Judy, a Christian physician, holistic wellness expert, and I am coming to you live today as a part of my 7-day P3 challenge. The goal of this challenge is to encourage you to make healthy habits that surround my framework, which basically is a holistic wellness framework incorporating mind, body, and spirit. P3 stands for plants, prayer, and peace. And today is Wellness Wednesday. So today's live session, so I'm going live each day this week except Friday and Saturday. Yesterday, I went live with a friend and colleague of mine, Dr. Judy Wright. We talked about stress reduction. That video is on my YouTube channel as well as my personal Facebook page. So, today, what I want to share with you is about mindfulness and the importance of mindfulness and how mindfulness can help you to stick to healthy lifestyle habits. All right. So, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. This is just going to be a quick 20-30 minute live. You can watch the replay, it will be on my YouTube and Facebook. Hopefully, Instagram if I'm able to save it there. But Instagram sometimes is a bit funny. But I wanted to stream on Instagram so that you guys can say hello and see the video as well. So thanks for joining. So let's just get right into it. So mindfulness. Now to be honest, did not really know much or anything really about mindfulness until last year when I was actually forced to focus on mindfulness. My body was in shutdown mode due to a health issue, chronic stress, and burnout. And mindfulness became a tool for recovery. And so I started doing daily Christian meditation for like 30 minutes at least, sometimes an hour a day. I started practicing mindfulness all throughout my day. And then I realized the benefits of it. And I said to myself, my goodness, I've gone my half of my life now, probably not doing any meditation, not doing mindfulness. How have I even survived all of this time? Only through the grace of God. But it's a remarkable tool that now I want to make sure that people know about. So, what is mindfulness? So, I have some notes here. So, if you see me looking to the side, I am looking at my notes. So, don't be alarmed. So, mindfulness, let me just put my screen right here. Okay, so mindfulness is actually put that in the chat. I should be able to see the comments. Let's do this. Yeah, put in the chat what is mindfulness to you. I see someone on YouTube put a comment earlier. Hello, hello. All right, cool. So, what is mindfulness to you? Put in the chat what you think mindfulness is. Trying to get all my screens situated. Ah. Okay, so the definition of mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware in the moment without judgment. That's key. It's about paying attention to what's happening right now, whether it's your thoughts, your feelings, your body sensations, or the environment, rather than just being lost in past worries or future anxieties. Mindfulness is super important because a lot of times we aren't aware of how our body is feeling. And our body is sending us signals all the time. It could be an itch, it could be a slight pain, a discomfort. But because we're so busy in the hustle, the grind, doing all the things, we often don't pay attention to our body until the alarm signal has been going off so long. And at that point, it's a major crisis. So you can't ignore it, right? And then you're forced to go into the doctor, or at worst, you're forced to go into the ER because it's like an emergency. So being mindful makes you aware of the small, subtle changes in your body, your feelings. It even helps you to be aware of how you feel when you're around certain people. There's some people that have a negative energy. And if you're not aware and not mindful, you may not be aware that that person's presence is causing an unconscious reaction in your body. It could be your heart racing a little bit, feeling a little bit of tension or sweatiness. So, mindfulness is very important. Now, why is it important for your health? It's important for your mental health and your physical health. But first, I want to touch on the mental aspect of mindfulness. And I did a mindfulness based stress reduction course earlier this year, and it was so beneficial. Oh my goodness, I forgot to mention that. In the beginning of the course, some um, people were like feeling stressed, feeling anxious, but by the end of the 8 weeks, everyone felt more relaxed, more at peace, more calm. It was amazing. Mindfulness is amazing. So, mental health. Why is mindfulness important for that? So, mindfulness reduces stress by helping us to break free from negative thought patterns, excuse me, and it's been shown to lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, improve focus, and promote emotional regulation. So, remember the definition I said mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware in the moment without judgment. That means that you're not judging yourself for feeling a certain way. You're not judging yourself for feeling anxious because you have a presentation. Negative thoughts and negative um, feelings and beliefs affect our physical body. So this is one reason why I like mindfulness, because you're not judging yourself for being nervous about having a presentation, or you're not judging yourself because you messed up and maybe you um, made a mistake at work, right? When you practice in mindfulness continually, it's being aware of what's happening right now, but also without judgment. That's really, really important. And that helps you to prevent from feeling guilty, from self sabotage, and being overly critical, which and sometimes is really is just not helpful to be overly critical. So the other benefit from mindfulness is it can help your physical health as well. It can lower your blood pressure, lower your stress levels, which can also improve your immune function, and has been shown to be helpful in pain management. So by being more mindful, we make better health choices just overall. The enemy to healthy habits is being too busy and not being mindful. And some examples of mindfulness are eating slowly with no distractions. So, eating your meal, not multitasking and doing work, being on the computer, watching TV, but just focusing on the food, focusing on the flavors, how it tastes, how it feels in your mouth, and eating slowly. Another example of being mindful is to take a mindful walk. So instead of listening to a podcast or music while you're walking, just pay attention to the scenery. Are there animals around? Are there birds? What does the air feel like? Is it damp? Is it hot? Is it cool? And you're simply just being present in the moment. It will make a huge difference in your overall well being as well as your stress levels. Trust me. Another example of mindfulness is you can take a mindful drive in your car. And I know, like most people, I'm always listening to something in the car, whether it be an audible book, podcast, something on YouTube or music. But when you're taking a mindful drive, instead, there's no music or nothing playing. It's quiet and you're just paying attention to the drive, the scenery, whether you're passing buildings, whether there's people on the street, other cars, and you're really just paying attention to the drive. With the way that our society is so busy, there's so many distractions, and our phone ends up being a big distraction. It actually gets in the way of us really living our best and our healthiest life. So we have to get to a point where we're willing to minimize these distractions if we want to take our health to the next level. Okay. So that's the first thing about mindfulness and daily habits. The other benefit of mindfulness is that it can help you make better health choices, better food choices. So let's talk about mindful eating. So, as I mentioned, mindful eating means paying attention to the experience of eating. You're not mindlessly eating in front of the TV or scrolling through your phone. And when you're mindful when you eat, you're more likely to pay attention to the cues that your body's sending you when you're full. So you're less likely to overeat. And so I want to share with you now some tips for mindful eating. So, first, pause before eating. Check with yourself and find out, are you even hungry? Or are you thirsty? Or are you angry, bored, tired, or lonely? Sometimes we may think that we're hungry, but we're really just feeling a bit emotional and just want something to eat to make us feel better. So check in with your body to see, are you even really hungry? Do you really feel that growling in the stomach that happens when you're hungry? Has it been 4 or 5 hours since you last ate? And then if you discover that you are truly hungry, right, just take a moment and pause before eating. Appreciate your food, express gratitude for the nourishment it provides. Of course, you most likely say grace and give thanks to God for the food, but just pause before eating instead of just like, about to just ravish your food like you've never eaten before. You know what I mean? When you're hangry. And then the third thing is eat slowly. Eating too fast is a sure way to make sure that you overeat. Just take smaller bites, chew the food thoroughly, savor the flavors. It helps with digestion as well. And the fourth thing is avoid multitasking. When eating, it's really best to focus solely on your meal and turn off distractions like TV and work emails. Now, I know this is hard, especially if you have a busy professional career like Madison. There is no lunch break. We never get a lunch break. And during lunch break, we're typically doing notes. We're getting paged. There's overhead alarms going off that we have to attend to if you work in the hospital. So I used to always work during my lunch break. While I was eating, I was on the computer, which is just not good. But then when I switched to the remote job, working for the insurance company, we had a 1 hour lunch break, and it was just so beautiful to be able to just eat, not get paged, not have the responsive codes or anything overhead. It was amazing. So if that's not practical for you every day because of your work schedule, at least once a week, eat a meal mindfully. Now, if you're lucky and you have family that you live with, it doesn't mean that you're going to sit around the table in silence. You got family with you. Of course, you're going to engage in conversations, but being mindful means that you're not having other distractions, right? Such as like the cell phone, scrolling through that, or watching TV, or being on the computer. Those are the things that you want to like eliminate when you're doing mindful eating. So try eating a meal mindful at least once a week. And then once you get used to that, you can increase it to twice a week. It makes a huge difference as far as how much you're eating and helps to prevent from overeating. Okay. All right. So next tip for sticking to healthy habits. So I talked about mindfulness. So the first strategy for sticking to healthy habits is instead of focusing on the negative, which I find people often tend to do, they'll be like, oh, I I've been trying to work out, but I've only been doing it once a week. Oh, but trying to eat healthy, but I just can't stick to this. And they focus on what they aren't doing or what they think they aren't doing right instead of focusing on what they are doing right. And no one is perfect when it comes to wellness. Everyone has something that they can work on. Even people that do eat healthy, they might have negative mindsets. They may deal with stress. They may have unhealed trauma from childhood, or they may be um, I want to say spiritually sick. Yeah, spiritually sick, meaning, they don't have a relationship with God. The relationship is very surface level, or they don't have a relationship at all. So everyone is on a wellness journey, right? No one has arrived. Even the people that think they have arrived, they have not, because you are always growing, learning, and becoming a better version of yourself. So don't ignore the small wins, right? Let's say today you chose a salad over fast food. That's a win. Yeah, you didn't lose 5 pounds yet. Oftentimes we focus on the big goal, like, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 30 pounds, or, I want to get off this blood pressure medication, or I want to lower my A1C from 7 to 5, right? We have all these big, grandiose goals, but big goals don't get accomplished without small goals being accomplished. So those small goals are cumulative and add up to the bigger goal being accomplished. So don't ignore the small wins. Like you chose a salad today over fast food, celebrate that. That's amazing. Today you meditated for 10 minutes. That's amazing. Celebrate that. Don't beat yourself up because you didn't work out today. Every day there's something that you hopefully did to contribute to your wellness. So These small victories build momentum, build your confidence, and make the larger goals feel more achievable. And so, one idea that you can use to keep track of your wellness wins, and today's theme is Wellness Wins Wednesday, um, as part of the P3 challenge. So, what you can do is have a wellness win journal or notebook on your phone. I use notes on my phone, my computer, and you can write down one small health victory every single day. It could be I drank water instead of juice. It could be I went for a 15-minute walk or 30-minute walk. You know, these things help to build your momentum, build your confidence, and keep you going. And so that's one tip to share about sticking to healthy habits. Don't be so quick to beat yourself up and focus on the negative. Focus on the positive, and you can keep a win journal to remind you of the progress that you've made so far. So, the next tip I want to share about consistency and healthy habits is how do you stick to healthy habits, right? Because this is the thing. People know what to eat. People know that fries is not healthy and Oreos and ice cream is not healthy. They know soda is not healthy. But for some reason, people can't stop eating them. And I want to share with you some insights that I've discovered as to why this happens. First, I think it's a lack of awareness, not being mindful about their feelings and when they are triggered to eat certain foods. Sometimes, when we crave sugary foods, fried, fatty, and unhealthy foods, it's really our brain seeking psychological safety for an emotional deficit that we feel, an emotional wound that we're trying to cover up with food. And I think that many people that struggle with food addictions and excess weight do have that issue whereby they are avoiding uncomfortable feelings and they self medicate with food. They use food to make themselves feel good, to make themselves feel happy, to either avoid thinking about a painful experience that they had, to avoid having uncomfortable conversations. So, the first key is to get real with yourself and be able to have the uncomfortable conversation with yourself about why you are craving certain foods and why you cannot stick to the healthy eating plan that you have set. What's the reason for that, and get to the root? Because if you don't, you're going to just go from coach to coach to coach, and you're going to think you need a new diet or a new workout plan, but you don't need any of that. What you need to do is go to the basement, get to the root of the problem, and be willing to dig up the cobwebs and figure out what actually really is going on in your mind and in your brain. So hopefully that's helpful. Um, Now, with being aware of triggers and when you tend to crave certain foods, is keeping a food journal can be helpful with that, right? Um, and also giving your health an assignment. So it's not enough to say, I want to lose weight so that I can get off this medication, or it's not enough to say, I want to get off this blood pressure medicine, or I want to lose weight for a wedding or an event. That's not big enough. Your motivation for health needs to have like a bigger purpose whereby you consistently making poor health choices and you not being at your optimum health has consequences for your overall life and your life's purpose. And so I'll give you an example. So for me, it became early on that I needed to be in I needed to have a sharp, clear mind. And I noted the connection between sugary food and unhealthy food as far as its impact on the brain. And I am very much aware of my life's purpose. And I believe that everyone has a purpose. And I know that if I am sick, if I am tired, if I am in the hospital, I'm not going to be at my best to fulfill the purpose that God has put me on this earth to do. So it has big consequences because if I'm sick, I cannot minister and reach other people in the way that I feel that God would have me to do. So it's a bigger deal than, okay, I don't want to be on medication or I don't want to have this diagnosis. It's not even about so much a medication or a diagnosis, but it's about my bigger life purpose and what being unhealthy will prevent me from doing. Also, I love to travel. So being unable to travel is a big deal for me, right? So if I'm having to travel around with oxygen, or if I'm too big to fit in the chair on the airplanes because those seats are so small, that would be upsetting to me. So you have to think about what motivates you, and you have to go deeper than just, oh, I want to lose weight because of aesthetic reasons, but it has to be a deeper reason why you want to make a healthier lifestyle habit. And then the second thing is to set yourself up for success. So if you're saying that you don't want to eat sugary drinks, don't buy sugary drinks. Don't have them in the house. If you have them in the house, you're going to be more likely to eat them. And it's going to be hard not to eat it, right? I'm sure you can all attest to that, that when you have unhealthy food in the house, it can be hard to not eat it. So I just don't buy it. Traditionally, I just don't buy, ice cream, sweet junk like that. And if I do buy a bag of chips, it's one serving, not a big bag. I eat that one little bag and then is it. No more. Right? So set yourself up for success in that way, and don't buy the unhealthy food, because if you buy it, you're gonna eat it. So next is, let's say, how to stick to healthy habits and consistency. You can set out reminders. So for me, you know, let's say you're trying to drink more water. Have a water bottle on your desk, have it in your kitchen and in different places like that, so that you can remember that, oh yeah, I'm gonna drink more water instead of sugary drinks. Right? That's like good way to stick to a healthy habit. Have visual reminders. And then practice self compassion. Remember that life happens and perfection is not the goal. So even when you fall off track, don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself and then just recommit to your habits without guilt. All right. So now I want to um, talk about staying present in the midweek. So it's Wednesday. And by Wednesday, people can feel tired, overwhelmed by the to do list, and just feeling like, oh my goodness, when is the weekend going to get here? But I'm going to share with you a quick tip to stay mindful in the middle of the week. So you can take 5 minutes in the middle of your day and do a mindfulness reset. That's where you close your eyes, take deep breaths, and mentally reset your focus. It can be going outside for a brief walk or fresh of air in the middle of your day. It could be just 5 minutes, just stepping outside, taking a breath in of the fresh air, and just doing some deep breathing. It doesn't have to be anything long or complicated like that at all. So I want to share with you my breath work exercise. So there are some different ways that you can do breath work, but this is a good way to stay mindful and just reconnect in the middle of the week if you're feeling overwhelmed, tired, or just like stressed. And breathing is really helpful. You will be surprised at how helpful and beneficial doing breath work and breathing exercises are. It can help to calm the nervous system, reduce stress, and helps to ground you in the present moment. So there's a method called box breathing, and it's kind of like 4-4-4. You basically breathe in slowly for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and then breathe out for 4 seconds. There's other methods too where you can breathe in for 6 seconds, hold it for five, and then breathe out for four. Whatever your tolerance level is, you can start there. So that's something that you can do sitting at your desk, sitting on the couch. You can pretty much do it anywhere. And especially if you are in a situation where you're feeling like there's some conflict, you're interacting with someone and things are getting heated, you can pause, take a moment, and do a quick breathing exercise in that moment. All right. So So the breathing exercise is gonna feel weird to do this by myself right now, but I wanted to show you how I do it. So I would usually just close my eyes, right? You can kind of do it with me if you're able to. So actually, let me set my timer on my phone. Okay. Okay, so you close your eyes and then you breathe in for 4 seconds. One, two, three, four. Hold it for four, seven, eight, and then breathe out for four. And that's done. That's it. Now it's probably hard for you to follow along because the 4 seconds does go by kind of fast. Let's do it again for 5 seconds. I don't know if you can see. Would that help showing you my phone? I don't know. Maybe next time I have a timer on the side so you can see. Actually, I probably could get a timer. I do have a timer. We'll just do it this way. Okay, so let's do it again. We're gonna do five, five, five. Okay, so breathe in for 5 seconds, and I'll tell you when it's time to hold. Now hold for 5 seconds, and then breathe out for 5 seconds. All right, you did it. See how easy that was? It was not hard at all. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. So today we talked about mindfulness, what mindfulness is. If you're just tuning in, you can go back and watch the replay. We talked about mindful eating, how to be consistent with your health habits, break them down into small bite-sized goals, and setting yourself up for success by not having the food in your house that you say that you don't want to eat, for example. And then I also talked about being positive. Instead of focusing on the negative and where you fell short or didn't do the thing that you committed to, focus on your wellness win. So, wellness win journal is something that you can do to keep yourself motivated. All right. So, this is your homework for today. I want you to post something to social media with hashtag P3 challenge. It could be a picture of a whole food plant-based meal. It could be a picture of you doing a wellness activity. It could be breath work, meditation, a walk, workout class, fitness, um, journaling, pretty much anything that's a wellness activity. And celebrate your wellness win for the day. And if you're on social media, you can tag me in it as well. That'd be awesome so that I can share your wins and cheer you on as well. So today is day 3 of my P3 challenge. If you haven't already registered, you can go to my website and sign up, theplantbasedmd.com. It's a free challenge and we have a private Facebook group, daily emails, and I'm going live each day this week except Friday and Saturday. And today is Wellness Wins Wednesday. All right. So let me see if there's anything in the chat. I see comment. Good point on breaking down large goals into smaller, achievable goals. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. People often say they want to lose weight, they want to lose 50 pounds, or they want to get off like 6 or 3 blood pressure medications. And it's like big goals aren't accomplished by just saying them, they're accomplished by small, seemingly insignificant goals. And that seemingly insignificant goal could be something that doesn't even seem like a big deal, as choosing a salad instead of french fries and chicken nuggets for lunch, right? So that's all I have for you today. I'm trying to keep these to like 20-30 minutes so that you can listen to it on your drive, lunch break, or whatever. If you're not following me on YouTube, my channel is the P3 Ministry with Dr. Judy. You can also add me as a friend on Facebook. I don't have a business Facebook page anymore. I just use my personal page for business and ministry. And then, of course, if you're seeing this on Instagram, make sure you're following me there. But follow me everywhere, especially on YouTube, because I share videos and content there that I can't share on social media just because of the long form of it. So it's pretty awesome stuff. And thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. This replay will be on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. And again, share your wellness wins Wednesday. Tag me in it and also use the hashtag P3 Challenge. Let's celebrate each other and encourage each other on this journey. No matter who you are, wellness consists of mind, body, and spirit. It's not just diet, it's not just fitness. People often focus on the diet and the fitness and they ignore their mind, their emotions, and their spiritual well being, which are all equally important. And I would even go far to say that the mind and the spirit are the most important thing. Like if you are not healthy and in balance and whole in your mind, you're going to make poor health choices, period. If spiritually you're sick and disconnected from God, you're not living at your best level. You're not living at your highest level. And you may disagree with that. And it's not even about a religion. I don't support or promote per se any particular denomination. I'm a follower of Christ. But there is one God. and being whole means being connected to the higher power of God. If you look at the blue zones, one habit that they all have in the communities, the countries where people live to 100 and they're vibrant and young and active, like they're 100, but they act like they're like 60, is social connection, connection to a higher power, belief in faith, spirituality, and a sense of purpose. They also have a plant forward diet. They eat a lot of plant based foods. It's not vegan. They do eat some meat, but it's smaller servings than what you see in the US. And yeah, so that's what I want to share. Thanks so much for tuning in. And tomorrow I'm going live at 2 p.m. And tomorrow's theme is Transformation Thursday. So we'll be talking about purpose. It's going to be amazing. All right, guys, have a good afternoon and thanks for watching. Bye.